In the beginning, there were only regular fights, simple and mundane tiffs between humans and other things. But as the things learned to fight back, something new was created. The boss fight. The boss fight increased in difficulty, all the way to nightmare mode. Soon, there was no hope for the mere mortal human. But then, the greatest sage and the greatest battle master started to share their wisdom with others. You're now about to listen to that wisdom. The great wisdom of Austin and Aubrey.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very serious episode of Boss Fight with Austin and Aubrey. I'm Austin.
And I am Aubrey.
And I owe you, the listener, an apology for my antics on last episode, when I had a bit of an outburst about the letter C. Now, it's come to my attention, thanks to my wife, who is a second grade teacher and specializes in phonics, that CH is not only a sound in the English language, but one exclusively controlled by the letter C. And my sort of reaction to a letter that was only doing its best was unfair and childish, and I apologize.
And to make this apology more open, I have a surprise for you, Austin. Here in the studio today, we have the alphabet. The whole alphabet.
Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming, everyone.
Guys, whoa. You have to talk one at a time.
Yes, hello. How?
G, E, V, E, Y, ooh. You know, you'd think they could put that, string that together better, but that was stupid.
in the sort of space that you've created where the alphabet is sentient and came into our studio.
Yes.
Each letter could only
yeah, they're like Pokemon.
Yeah, sort of like a Pokemon could only make its own sound.
Yep. I had a hard time because I thought they would just say their names, but then I went, wouldn't they say their sounds? And then I went, but some of them, it's the same. And God, I don't know what to do anymore. But I kept going. You're welcome. And I fought through that.
You sure did.
I didn't win, but I fought through the entire game.
And that's half the battle.
All right, so Boss Fight with Austin and Aubrey is a comedy advice show in which you, the listeners, ask us questions about your biggest real-life boss fights that you are fighting within your personal lives. And we, the greatest sage and the greatest battle master of all time, take our wonderful battle knowledge and we turn it into the answers you are looking for. You want a question, Austin?
I do want a question, Aubrey.
Good. I love questions. And this one fits really well because I've been watching the 5th season of the Great British Baking Show on Netflix that has been released. So
excellent.
Yes. So this one kind of comes into that. I'm going to be able to put all of my British baking knowledge into this question. Dear Austin and Aubrey, I like cookies. My cookies never look as good as one of my work colleagues, and I think it's time that we fight it out. How do I defeat a nice lady in her early 40s so that I feel like a winner for once? Sincerely, Butch.
So, Butch, I have to ask, do you mean beat in the sense that you just want to make better cookies, or beat in the sense that you would like to physically assault her?
I don't know. It's kind of I'm kind of torn. I'm torn because the beginning is like, hey, I like baking. I bake. I want to outbake this lady. I'm mad at it. But then you find out their name, and I know I'm stereotyping, and I'm very sorry. But with a name like Butch, you just automatically assume that you want to beat the shit out of some person.
Yeah, I understand. Like, if you want to improve your baking craft, that's a noble pursuit. But if that's not what you want, then
This is when I put in my favorite and probably only Spanish phrase that I know fluently. ¿Por qué no los dos?
¿Por qué no los dos? Now you're cooking.
You can bake your cookies and beat them too.
Yeah.
I tried my hand at that. I'm 0-2 on my joke so far.
No, that one would be okay on a t-shirt, I think.
All right, so once again, British baking show. Bringing it back to that, I learned since watching the first episode of the Great British Baking Show, my favorite episodes every season are the biscuit episodes because the last showstopper challenge of the biscuit week is where they create giant things. This has nothing to do with the question right now, but I just want to say how much I freaking love all of the giant biscuit sculptures that they make.
Yeah, those are some of the best
so
things
crazy.
to come out of that show.
It's amazing. But what I learned about biscuits are they are basically cookies, but they're much harder. Right? Like they have a firmer substance. So you can, instead of making cookies, maybe you make biscuits and then you use them as weapons. You get both. You can challenge them to a fight. Say, you get to make a weapon out of your choice of baked goods. And then I will also do the same thing. And you don't use cookies. She only knows how to make cookies. You make biscuits. Boom. Your weapons are superior.
Yeah, like, if you go to your local craft store, a lot of times they'll have sort of ninja star cutouts for your cookies. So as long as you get the right dough and you really start to refine the formula for the sharpest and most deadly cookies, I think you're going to have a lot easier time, especially if you get some of those specialty cutouts to make the most deadly biscuits.
I went on a pretty long thought train while you were talking about that because you said Ninja Star cookie cutouts. And somehow my brain went from there through a few train stations all the way to, do you think Hal Hollywood masquerades as a vigilante at night who uses baked... Did I say Hal Hollywood?
You did say Hal Hollywood. You said Hal Hollywood.
Do you think Paul Hollywood masquerades as a baked goods vigilante at night? Do you think he does that? He moonlights as some kind of vigilante, and he puts like cookie cutters and he straps them to his fingers like brass knuckles, but they're cookie cutters, so it really messes it up. And he uses a rolling pin in order to beat his enemies. And he just looks at him dead in the eyes and he goes, "That's a bad bake." Right before he hurts him real bad.
I have to believe that's true.
It has to be true. If Paul Hollywood was a vigilante, what would his name be?
This is a very good question.
Do you think his greatest enemy is the Soggy Bottom Boys? That's what I think.
God. Yeah, and then when he squares off against them and manages to defeat them, he just leans down, and while they're on the ground, tied up, muffled mouths so they can't speak while he waits for the police to arrive, he just whispers, "You're underproven."
That's good. Here's now I'm having another issue because while I think that's totally true, my next thought was, where does Mary Berry fit in all of this? And at first I thought, oh, clearly the Alfred to his Batman.
Yeah,
right?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But then I thought, Mary Berry's a big enough badass on her own. She's probably the bigger superhero, and Paul Hollywood's just the sidekick.
That's an interesting point. I think you're right.
I think I have to be in this case. Mary Berry probably fought crime for a very long time, and she still does when she has to. But she doesn't do it as much because she's getting up there in the years, even though she's immortal and we will never lose Mary Berry.
Oh, God, no. How could you imply such a thing?
I didn't. I explicitly said the opposite, in fact. Yeah, so she still does it every once in a while, but mostly she's just a mentor to good old Paul. And I think every contestant of the Great British Baking Show that wins, every contestant that wins the whole season, they get to be the new understudy of Paul Hollywood. And so that's how the cycle continues, right? Because everybody knows before the Great British Baking Show became a real television show on BBC, Mary Berry did underground cooking shows in the dark district of wherever she's from, and that's how she came across Paul Hollywood.
Yeah, they met in the baking ring.
They met in the baking ring, surrounded by ovens and proving drawers.
That's actually where Paul Hollywood developed his famous pinky technique that he uses to check the doughiness of bakes.
Yeah, on his enemies to make sure that they're dead. It's the same kind of thing. Let's make sure this one's dead.
He actually got some implants for his pinky, so he's a cyborg, but only in his pinky.
Only in his pinky.
Yeah.
This is totally off topic, but I had a high school chemistry teacher in the 10th grade who was missing half of his middle finger. And we all just joked around that was his charging port because it was the way it was sewn back together after he lost that finger. It looked like there were two prongs that could kind of go into a charging socket at night.
Excellent.
And so we joked that Mr. Farrar was an android, and we were all, of course, not actually taking it seriously. But then we went to a natural history museum, and in it was a giant painting of a man that looked exactly like Mr. Farrar. I mean, exactly like him, except for he had one of those old monk haircuts where it was bald up at the top and then just a ring around the head, and he was wearing a cloak. And then we looked down at the bottom, and it said, Sir Edward Farrar.
Whoa.
Yeah, and so from that point on, we actually realized that we were right, and he is an android that lives forever, and that is, in fact, his charging port, and it just changes when the technology changes.
That is...
Maybe that's what Paul Hollywood's trying to get to, is my point, to make it less totally off topic.
Yeah, I think...
You think... he's going for immortality.
Well, because he took the contract for the next season of the Great British Bake Off without everyone else involved, right? So he's not concerned with the longevity of the show as much as he is concerned with his own baking longevity.
So since we've already established that the winner out of those 12 contestants becomes the next in line to become the baked goods vigilante, the other 11 are probably sacrificed, and Paul absorbs their power. That's what I think. You're good, but not good enough, so I'll use you in a different way. And then he sticks them in a proving drawer for about 30 minutes to 3 hours, depending on the contestant, and then he absorbs them through his pinky.
This feels like an excellent setup for a really good dystopian novel where like one of the sacrifices escapes.
Hey, want another question?
Yeah, I think we answered that one just about the best we could.
Good. And this is where I was going to interrupt you with some kind of jingle for the Wacky Hybrid Creature Corner, but I couldn't think of one. But maybe I'll put one in post.
It's weird. The thing that immediately came to my mind when you thought about a wacky jingle is I was thinking of the show Phineas and Ferb.
Yes, that's what's been in my head all week, and I've been trying to think of something different than Wacky Hybrid Creature Corner.
Yeah,
spelled with K's.
Oh God. Don't start. Don't start.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. And then wait, hold on. Let's do this a little less organically. Psst, Austin. Austin.
What?
Austin. I'm over here in the corner. Come over to the corner.
That was weird. You disappeared for a second.
I know. Come over to the corner.
Okay, I'm coming.
All right. You're moving very, very slowly to the corner.
Well, you didn't. There was no sense of urgency. I just, I'm taking my time.
I'm whispering with intensity.
I hurt my ankle yesterday.
Fuck you. Okay, I'll just go. I'll go myself. And then.
No, I'm coming.
Okay. Fuck it. I'm pulling the lever. The door moves very slowly.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
so okay. You should have just pulled the lever earlier, and I would have caught up by the time that it opened.
Damn it, you're right. Okay, well, anyways, welcome to the Wacky Hybrid Creature Corner. Welcome to the Wacky Hybrid Creature Corner. Spelt with K's.
Yay!
Yes, if you look over to your left, what I have is literally every single item in existence stacked on top of each other to the left. Just one item of each. One thing of each item is what I meant to say.
One thing of one item.
One item of each thing of the items in the world. Items each. And what I have is a bunch of robot arms that just randomly select a few of those things. And then if you look over to the right, it takes those things and it puts them in some kind. I redid the time portal in my room. And I made it into a combining portal. So you put things in each end and then out pops a new thing. If you look in the center, here's a fighting ring where we can watch or fight these creatures ourselves. This
Excellent.
is the Wacky Hybrid Creature Corner. I've set it up. How did
you fit this in the apartment?
You don't have to ask questions. It's bigger on the inside. And that's all I'm going to tell you.
Ah.
Anyways, so here's the deal. And we've also updated it because you told me that, hey, next time we do this, maybe we should add in this new thing, which is the wacky weapon generator. And then we get to choose. Yes. So what we'll do is I'll push this button here that says generate, and it'll generate some kind of wacky hybrid creature. And then I'll push this button that says weaponate, and it'll give us a wacky weapon. And then we have to decide how we're going to defeat this thing with this weapon. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Pull the lever.
Excellent. It's a button. I just fucking told you it was a button.
Pull the lever sounds better. Like I know like it's a button and that's all well and good, but like I don't know. Press the button. I don't know. It doesn't have the same.
It's like the thing is with a lever, even if you label it, sometimes you can't tell. Is it supposed to stay in the upward position? Am I supposed to pull it towards me in that sense? Because then I might accidentally leave it down, and then it's just creating all kinds of wacky hybrid creatures all day, or wacky weapons all day. And we can't have that. So buttons are easy. You just push them once. It's just on. There's no I left the button down, Anyways, here I go. Makes a stupid ass sound. And then all right, this is a blend of a kangaroo and a bucket full of glitter. It's Sparkle-Roo.
Sparkle-Roo.
How do we fight Sparkle-Roo? Weapon okay. So let's talk about Sparkle-Roo.
So Sparkle-Roo, basically just a shiny kangaroo, which is a problem because kangaroos will already like fuck you up. Like kangaroo is not a creature you want to encounter in your day-to-day. It's also made of glitter. Means it's going to reach into that pouch, throw some glitter on you. It's going to try to blind you. And also, you're going to have glitter on you for the foreseeable future because glitter sticks everywhere.
And the whole time, he's just singing Kesha songs. The whole time. He's got a boombox, and it just blasts Kesha as you're fighting it.
To be fair, I think that would amp me up for the fight.
But it amps it up way more.
That's true, yeah. Didn't think about that.
It's got the blinding. It's got a smaller Sparkle-Roo within its pouch at all given points, because it's a mama kangaroo.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that you have to think about. Kicking power, over 9,000. Crazy
Easily.
good.
Easily over 9,000.
Easily over 9,000. And now, since it's a Sparkle-Roo, it can kick nothing, and just like a pulse of air will come at you, air and glitter, and knock you over. But luckily, what we have here is, wow, we have a wonderful weapon. Oh, we can't use that. It's a sickle with a flamethrower. That's an easy win.
Yeah, that's the solution to most problems.
What we have here is a weapon that combines the aspects of a postage stamp with a rifle, and not in the way that you would expect.
Okay.
Yeah, now the weaponate button also comes up as clickbait. So every time it's got a tagline, and I have to click it to get the item. So I just put up with it. So here's a postage stamp with a rifle. So here's the aspect. It has none of the offensive capabilities of a rifle, unfortunately. It doesn't shoot anything whatsoever.
It does have a scope.
It has a scope. It lets you see better. So there's step one. You can see it from far away now. And it doesn't have the good qualities of a postage stamp, in which it allows you to send mail places.
And is sticky.
It's super sticky. What we have here is a very sticky scope, and that is it. That's all we have. So we have to beat Sparkle-Roo with a very sticky rifle scope.
Sticky rifle scope. Now, the problem is Sparkle-Roo is also a very intelligent creature, so we can't just pretend that we have the whole rifle. It's going to see right through that.
Yep. But we have a scope, so we get to see right through a lot of things. Well, not through things. Damn it, it's not it's not a good scope.
It's not an X-ray.
And it only
lens.
works with night vision. We can't even use it with the lights on. Or outside when the sun is on. When the sun turns itself off at night, then we can use it.
When
But
the
this is the
sun
middle of the
presses
day.
its button
Yeah, turns it off.
for the night, to shut down.
Okay, so here's what I think. We have to sneak in.
Okay.
It's a sticky scope. So luckily neither of us have touched it yet. So we can use another object to pick it up.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What we do is we have to use the element of surprise. And this can go one of two ways. Either it makes the creature unable to fight, or it makes it too powerful. That's our specialty, is messing things up to where they become more powerful. If we can get the scope on one of its eyes and get it stuck there and somehow blind the other one with its own sparkles, then it won't be able to see.
Yeah,
Unless we fight it at night, in which case it has the upper hand.
That's true. That's true. But you know, if we manage to get the scope to one eye, and it doesn't have anything on the other eye, theoretically, its depth perception would be really messed up at that point.
And it can't kick good at that point.
Yeah, like that's going to affect its kicking power. I think we have to make sure it gets the scope, really mess with its field of vision, and that's going to give us a much better window.
Take away its Kesha CD.
Which is going to feel cruel, but it's what has to be done.
Play it backwards. If we take the Kesha CD and we play it backwards, I'm pretty sure that it gets so bummed down. Like, because Kesha's message pumps it up so much that if we play it backwards, it's either A, some kind of satanic ritual, or B, it bums him out.
Oh, yeah, that has to be the case.
Yep, one of the two. Don't know which one. But we're about to find out.
Yeah, for science.
for science. Welcome to the Wacky Hybrid Creature Corner. Spelt with K's. Anyways, so we've done it now.
We did. We attached a sticky scope to its eye and we stole its Kesha CD.
Ready for one more question?
I mean, I think so. I think the kangaroo is behind us.
And I think that we can also just set it free.
Yeah, we can just love it. It's a magical, glittery creature.
It's a sparkle-roo.
Sparkle-roo, man.
Dear Austin and Aubrey, my drive to work in the morning is pretty congested. While I have learned to live with it, traffic frequently gets the better of other drivers, and I often see road rage on my commute. What can I do to protect myself from these crazy drivers? And that is from, there's literally a car in front of me, stop honking, in DFW. Yes, you used to live in DFW. I currently live in DFW, and if you've never been to Fort Worth, if you've never tried to drive on Interstate 35 in Fort Worth through the north part of Fort Worth, consider yourself lucky, because they've been working on that highway way longer than I've had my driver's license. It's easily been over a decade.
Oh, for sure. Easily.
And they've been working in about the same spot. And it's actually better now. Now that you've moved, it's gotten better. But
oh, that's good to hear.
But it just got worse and worse and worse for so long. So I get it. Question asker, I get you. I get it.
You're already doing the right thing. You know that's the way it is. You sit in your car on the ramp from 30 to 35 for like 45 minutes because no one's moving and there's traffic. I get it.
And people are honking at you and it's not your fault and they're just going crazy. Yeah, you need to protect yourself. And we can help with that.
Yeah. But you're doing the right thing. You've got your podcast on, you're listening to Boss Fight with Austin and Aubrey, you're taking it easy, you're really relishing in the time that you have to yourself. We're focusing on you. You're doing yourself right.
Please don't be doing yourself while you're in traffic. Please do not be doing that.
Yeah,
that's gross and disgusting. I think the first thing you have to do is you have to surround your entire car in bubble wrap. That's the only way that you can do it. If you get in a fender bender, but you have bubble wrap all around your car, no damage. No damage.
No damage.
That's it. I got bubble wrap. It's your turn.
Okay.
You have to throw one out. Austin, play in the space with me.
Okay, I'm playing bubble wrap. Bubble wrap's so good though. How do I top that?
Oh, I can do that. What you do is if you know there's going to be traffic that day, if there's going to be traffic from basically where you're going to where you're getting, right? Like the whole time, don't drive a car. Drive a horse-drawn carriage. And then that way, you'll be going that speed the entire way, and you'll never actually have to stop. It'll be less boring.
Yeah, you're really gonna learn to appreciate life on the back of a horse-drawn carriage.
Yeah, and you get some of the sunshine and the air and the horse.
The horse, yes.
The horse, and you just move at a speed that will be basically consistent. Ta-da!
The other thing you can do is work your way up the ranks in the city office and become the city planner, so that when a construction project is proposed, you, as the one who gets to sign off on that decision, say, hey, you know what? Maybe no more construction for a little bit. How's that? And that way, you've cut off the source of the problem. You know, you cut it off right at the source. You're not dealing with sort of the symptoms. You're not dealing with just one pocket of the overall problem. You, in your great wisdom, have done what no city planner has ever done before. And you say, maybe we don't have any road construction. This is uncharted territory. This is a first in history. I'm so proud of you.
Well, you don't know. Maybe on the contract, it says you have to say yes. You can't say no. And if you say no, you instantly get fired. Is that why? Because I feel like every city planner out there should say no.
Right?
People in power abuse it. And if I was a city planner, I would abuse my power by saying no to road construction. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Think of somebody who wouldn't. Think of somebody who loves sitting in traffic. Think about it, Austin.
I can't because they're a sadist.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So clearly, either all those decisions go over a city planner's head, or it's somewhere in the contract that they can't say no to road construction.
So you're telling me that the conspiracy goes even deeper, and the city planner is just a puppet.
Just a puppet. Just a Pinocchio in a world of puppet masters.
That's deep. Both your philosophical statement and the conspiracy.
And the conspiracy is so deep.
We
How
are
far do you
deep
think
in
it goes?
now.
It goes, so after it's got to go to the mayor, right? It goes as deep as the mayor, clearly. But then it's
Easily.
every city planner in every city. So it's got to go past the governor all the way up. All the way up. All the way. It goes past the city planner. It goes past the state planner. It goes past the American planner. It's got to go to the earth planner.
Earth planner.
The earth planner. The guy who plans the way the earth works.
Yeah, some people would call that God.
No. Nope. He works for God.
Oh, he works for God.
Yeah, whatever deity created the earth has it's a government up there. You know that.
Oh, there's so much bureaucracy.
Exactly. There's so much bureaucracy up there. And one of them is the earth planner who sits there and creates and plans out the earth. Says, all right, so I think first things first, we make some giant lizards and we sprinkle them all over this giant rock. And then in about 1 trillion years, when we get bored of that, we just hit it with a different rock that goes real fast. And then we start over again. No scales, probably lots of hair. Hair's good. Let's put some hairs on them. Let's take away the claws. Let's just make these bitches unable to fight anything.
Yeah, 4 legs? No. 2.
No, 2.
2
Only
legs.
2.
And then instead of the other pair of legs, we just slap some noodles that have sticks on at the end, and they can kind of bend and grab stuff, but they're pretty useless.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
That guy. Oh, but we're going to stick these creatures. We're going to try to make them the alphas of this planet, but they're going to be surrounded by things that could easily murder them at any moment. We'll still keep lions, and we'll keep rhinos, and very, very poisonous tiny creatures.
Yes.
Anyways, so we're going to do that. And that guy, that motherfucker that went, hey, you know what? No more dinosaurs. Let's put some monkeys on this bitch. That guy. You know that guy likes road construction. You know it.
He lives for that kind of stuff.
He lives for it. So that's as far as it goes. So how we have to beat him. We have to get up there. So we know giant tower doesn't work. That's how I've read. I think I remember that from Sunday school. We've already covered. I didn't go to Sunday school very, very often. But giant tower, I don't think works. Right?
Right.
Okay, that was a real thing.
Yeah, no. That the last time that happened,
Yeah.
We all started speaking different languages.
Still don't know if dying works. Hasn't been completely proven yet.
There's the jury's still out on that one.
Yeah. That's a high risk, high reward, but also you can't go back. So not worth it.
Yeah, it's the ultimate risk, but theoretically, the ultimate reward.
Maybe if tower doesn't work, some other structure will get us up there. Maybe a ladder, just one big ladder, one big pogo stick. If we create the world's biggest pogo stick,
yeah,
do you think that we can pogo our way up into that territory, into the celestial realm where the Earth planner sits?
I have to believe we can.
Do you think the Earth planner's got beef with the Mars planner? Like, you lazy son of a bitch, you're not doing anything with this stupid red rock.
Yes, they are, but they weren't as critical of the Pluto planner when they actually kicked him out of the planet planning society.
I think what they did. Okay, so I think that they had all not. Wait, how many planets are there?
There's 8 now.
There's 8, 9. There was 9. Okay, I was on the right track. So originally, when they got the 9 planet planners together, what they did was they basically played a game of Catan, but it was Milky Way. It was the Milky Way version of Catan, and the Earth planner got the first pick. He rolled high on his dice, and when he got that specific planet, everybody else went, "Oh!" Because that's the only one far enough away from the sun to support life. And so, and then the next person was like, "Boom! I got Jupiter." And everybody's like, "Damn it! All of those moons!" And then the guy at the end got Pluto, and he was just like, "Well, what am I supposed to do with this?" And Mercury was like, "Yes, I've got the fastest rotational pull, but also it's too damn hot for me to do anything." So it was just there's a lot of things that went on in there. I don't know a whole lot about planets. Wait, no. What am I thinking? Why would Earth get picked first? The first one put down was Uranus. He was like, "I get to control the joke economy in this game." I've got it. Oh, by the okay. Here's one more anecdote from my life as a teacher. On Friday, good. So I'm a band director, and I work mainly with the trombone section in the high school band. They're my kiddos that I teach all the time. And so during games, they get cups of water that they pass out. Everybody gets a cup of water, but they never put their actual names on them. They like pick a theme, and then everybody gets something out of that theme. So the theme for this past Friday was space. It was space. So for my cup, because they like to give me a cup because they want me to feel included, they put Milky Way, and then they crossed out the word Milky, and they wrote Massey. So I was the Massey Way. That was my cup. Way. Yeah. But they also put out planets, right? And they handed out cups of all of the planets. And so one of them was Uranus. And so one of the kids, so they're talking about, "Oh, Neptune, cool, blah, 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 blah." And one of the kids looks over and sees that somebody has a cup that says Uranus on it. And he looks at that girl and says, "Hey, insert name here. What planet did you get?" And she goes, "I'm Uranus." And then that kid replies, "You're my anus." It's the funniest thing I've heard in so long. And it was so hard for me because I had to look at him and scowl a little bit and say that was an inappropriate thing to say because it wasn't. He's a child, but it was so fucking funny.
You did better than I would have.
Funny.
I would have busted out laughing and set a horrible example for everyone.
Oh my goodness. I've heard so many when you're going over the planets in grade school and they say Uranus, every kid's like,
yeah,
right?
For sure.
That's funny.
I still do that.
And that's the funny part, right? Nobody makes a real joke about it, right? Nobody goes out or somebody's like, "My favorite planet's Uranus." That's the joke that gets there. I've never heard somebody when somebody says, "I'm Uranus," because I've never heard anybody say "I'm Uranus," right? Except for maybe in a play about the planets. And somebody replied, "You're my anus." It's like when people say, when somebody goes, "Hey, you want some liquor?" And then they go, "Liquor? I barely know her." And that's not funny. But
no.
But the Uranus, "you're my anus" thing, that's funny. Anyways,
really funny.
There we go. That is that's that. How do we get to Earth Planner and make it to where he quits making people say yes to road construction? So we get up there with our mighty, mighty pogo stick.
Yeah.
And then we have to fight him. So we have to, I think maybe what we do is we take, because he's probably working on a computer, right? And what we do is we take his floppy disk out of the computer that he's working on, that is Earth. And when he's not paying attention, we take it out, and then we put in a copy of Sims 4, and maybe he'll never know.
I think, yeah, that's distract him. He's going to be really confused as to why more people than usual are like shitting themselves and drowning. But with the way society's heading, he probably won't be too confused.
Do you think, much like Paul Hollywood is looking for somebody to replace his mantle as the baked goods vigilante,
Right.
the Earth Planner put Sims 4 on the Earth in order to see who should take his mantle later when he decides to retire?
Oh, yeah. I think that's exactly what that game.
So he's going to know Sims. He's going to know Sims.
Yeah.
He's looking for the person that plays Sims wrong, right? Sims is killing people. That's the fun part of Sims.
Yeah, that's what you do in Sims. Is that not what you're supposed to do in Sims?
And seducing the Grim Reaper and everything else you can do in Sims.
Right, yeah.
He's looking for the person that goes, nah, fuck that. Zooms out and just works on road construction all day. That's what this person's looking for.
That's truly a degenerate person.
Exactly.
The kind of person who doesn't kill the Sim.
Okay, so this person just needs to be tortured. So here's what we do. We walk in when he's not paying attention, and we take out the Earth planning stuff from the computer, and instead we put in a copy of Pirates of the Plains that just repeats over and over and over again, and then we lock him inside, and then we put somebody else in charge of it. And he just has to watch Tim Curry's bad pirate acting
That's the
for
ultimate.
all eternity.
That's the ultimate torture.
Boom! Got one!
Tim Curry as a pirate is the stuff of nightmares, specifically mine.
I have that nightmare.
Yeah, I just had that nightmare. I woke up in a terror. Wife was like, "What's wrong again? Did you have the dream?" And I in a cold sweat, I was like, "He's just so scary and creepy."
I have to learn how to do a Tim Curry impression as the pirate in Pirates Planes. Anyways, so speaking of Austin's terrible, terrible nightmares, thank you for listening to our show. I'm sure it gives you terrible, terrible nightmares.
I was wondering how that transition was going to.
I don't know. Thank you for sitting through all of our antics, and so many of you guys have just shared the show, and we love you. We love you. I'm going to go out and say it. I'll use the L word. That's not lesbians. I love you.
Fantastic reference.
And of course, all of these wonderful questions come from you. And so, Austin, how can people contact us?
Well, people can contact us through a variety of means, some of which include the contact form on the Positive Thoughts website. You can also find us on Twitter. We are at BossFightCast. We are at BossFightCast. You can also send us a quick email with your query. That's bossfightcast@gmail.com. We also have a Facebook page that you can follow, and I think that's it.
Yeah. You can also just, if you look in your window right now, if you look at your window, you will see a tiny tin can in the lower right-hand corner.
Oh, there is one there.
Yes. And then attached to it is a string. If you unslack that line, you can talk into that can, and through the string, we will get that message. There's one in every house. Don't ask us how we did it. We did. And it's a direct line to us. So There you go. You can use tin can string.
Yeah, tin can string technology.
Yes.
The latest
So,
and greatest.
there you go. That's also a way to contact us. This has been Boss Fight with Austin and Aubrey.
I'm Austin.
And I'm Aubrey. And don't forget, poisons and punches.
Music. Bam.